So we're looking at how to identify what's happening to the actual sequence and then how to change the nth rule because of that change. We are given a series of numbers, 5, 16, 39 and 80 and 145. We are told that the rule for this sequence is the n cubed plus 4n, which means every time I substitute something in, it will come up with these values. So let's just check to make sure it's right. So if n was 2, you're going to do 2 cubed plus 4 times 2, which is 8 plus the 8, which is obviously the 16. So that's where those numbers have come from. Now what we need to do is how to have a little think about what's happened, because the question says it's being linked to those first 5 terms. So what we need to think about is how we get from the first sequence to the second sequence. So you can see straight away that the 5 and the 10 has been doubled. So we're just going to check to make sure that they've all been doubled. So 16 times 2 is 32, 39 times 2 is 78, 80 times 2 is 160, and then 145 times 2 is 290. So yes, it has been doubled. So what that means for the actual n equation is that we're going to do 2 lots of the expression that we were given. So we're just going to expand that out to make it neater. So I've got 2n cubed plus 8n, and that's my answer. So it's finding what's happening between what they give you and what's coming next. So let's look at the second one. So how do you get from the first lot of numbers to the second? Have a little look. Hopefully you can all see it. It's adding 10 each time. So all of those numbers are 10 higher. So that means that we've got our sequence from before, and all I've done is I've added 10 to it, and that's it. I can't simplify it any further, so I leave it like that. So let's have a look at another question. So I'm going to give you a chance to have a go at this question. I've just changed the sequence slightly, so it's n squared plus 2n, and I've given you the numbers. So as before, we're going to look to see how I've changed these numbers to get from the top to the bottom. And then once you've done that, you're going to look at the second one and see how that's changed as well. So pause the video and see if you can see the link. So on your action sheet, you're going to copy out the 2 questions, and you're going to attempt to answer A, B and C for the questions. They're very similar to what we just looked at, so if you need to, you can go back to the example. You get given the first 5 terms of the sequence and then the sequence equation underneath. You're going to link that sequence to part A and see what happens each time. And then you're going to try and do the same for part B, changing the sequence and the expression rule to alter it for what you've changed it to. Part C is kind of the inverse. I've changed the equation, the expression, so what I want you to do is write me down the first 5 terms for the sequence, and then it's kind of repeated on the second side, but with different numbers and a different rule. Can you please complete on your action sheet showing all your working out as you go through? Pause the video and attempt the questions. So the final answers are on the screen, so you can check your answers there, and if you need extra support, then ask your teacher. All your working out should be shown on your action sheet, and then the first 5 terms of the last 2 should be for the first one, all of them should be 7 higher, and then all of them for the second one should be 18 less. Okay, So that's your action complete. Make sure your sheet is fully filled out and go on to your next task.